All right.
Oh, we started.
We'll figure it out live. That's fine.
Hey, you know what, guys? What's going on, guys?
Hey, everybody. This is the Rob and Markus Hate Wrestling podcast. Rob,
You know what I hate more than wrestling?
what?
My poorly managed equipment, which is entirely on my fault.
Listen, it's quite all right. Sometimes things happen.
Yeah,
Life goes on.
life goes on. Yeah, we ran late today. My father was under the weather, unfortunately. Wasn't feeling well. So I had to go take a detour. Not a detour. He's primary.
Yeah.
And make certain that he was well. So that's where we were.
Yes.
But we are live, and we're here to discuss.
What are we here to discuss, Rob?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Rob, your phone's okay.
Yeah, it's off. It's fucking off. I remembered. I was all happy to see you. And by the way, I want to give a shout out. We have a new producer with us today.
Yes. Hey, we're excited. Give it up for Austin, everybody. There
Austin.
We go. Listen, nobody can hear you, Austin, so your answer doesn't matter. But are you happy to be here?
Yeah,
he's happy to be here.
Technically speaking, you've got a mic on the floor.
He's technically.
So, yeah, he goes. It's all right.
He's. We're not going to be like the Two Bears One Cave where you hear the producer laugh out of nowhere. That's not probably going to happen.
You might if you're funny enough.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got to be fun here. Rob, listen. I'm so excited for this podcast.
All right. You know what? I'm a nerd.
Are you ready to eat humble pie?
No. First of all, let's get this fucking straight. Let's get this straight right now. I said not a month ago that making Cody lose the freaking belt to Roman Reigns was a colossally fucking disaster of an idea. It was a dumpster fire of an idea. I freaking hated it. I knew it was going to be bad because what did I say? If you give it to Roman Reigns, he's going to be burnt out.
Yes.
There's nowhere to go with him. There's no storyline for him left.
Well, they were planning on having Roman take a break. They were planning on Roman.
If he's going to take a break, he doesn't need the title.
Why does he hold the championship? Why would you?
You give it to Cody and you go, here's what we're going to do. Joe, let's cut the bullshit. Joe Anoa'i, or whatever the hell you pronounce his last name.
Sure.
Joe, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Buddy, you need a break. But
who's this talking to Joe?
Hold on. Well, let me do this the right way. Joe, you need a break.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose a belt.
Is this Vince? Are you doing Vince?
That was like my Vince Triple H. No, because it was Vince. It would have been you're on a break.
You're on a break.
Yeah. No. So what do they do in their infinite stupidity? Because WWE likes the idea of dates. They like Michael Cole being able to go, he's been our champion for over 1,000 days, going into SummerSlam, the hope of the millions. No one has ever been able to match a feat like this before.
Right. 1,000 days is a big deal.
It sounds great, but the reality is that you still have to wrap all of this around. When they made him the champion 3 years ago, they didn't know that it was going to go this long. They didn't know.
I don't think their plans were.
They're not that depth. No. They had no depth with Roman.
And that's the problem with WWE sometimes is they don't. It seems like they never have.
They never think ahead.
Plan.
They don't do
the 6-month plan. Hey, we're going to do this for whatever, and then we're going to have 6 months or whatever. It seems like it's like weekly decisions are made.
Right.
I could never run a promotion like that.
Now, and in fairness, now I'm going to say this. In fairness, a lot of those problems over the years was Vince changing his mind at the last freaking bleeding second.
Well, yeah, when you have rewrites 10 minutes, 20 minutes before a show starts, it's gonna be hectic.
Which is why Mercedes Varnado walked off not once but twice. Right. She walked off the first time when she was teamed up with Bayley. Sure. So it was Sasha and Bayley, and they find out 20 minutes before. Actually, not even. They found out as they're entering the getting them below the Titantron. They're about to walk down the aisle.
They're in Gorilla when they found out.
When they were the tag champions, Bayley and Sasha, they found out they were dropping the belt to the Iconics a minute before match time.
Gorilla. They were in Gorilla, and they were like, "Hey, wait a minute, time out. Plans have changed."
Right.
Are you telling me they did Ready to Rumble where they told King that he was gonna win tonight, and then right before he went out?
Apparently that was the story. And it was on lots of Wrestle Media talks. Lots of Wrestle Media talks said this. It was not just one off source. It was What Culture and all of them.
That is highly unprofessional.
But that's what they do.
Sure.
Now, why did they quit the second time? By that point, it was Mercedes Varnado. It was, I say that now because she's in Star Wars and it makes me sound fancier to use her real name. But it was Sasha Banks.
We're not supposed to do that.
Oh, I apologize.
Thank you.
Well, she's Mercedes Moné now, so it's like, all right. So it was Mercedes and it was the Glow.
Yeah.
Okay. And the women are like, oh, you're going to be included in a triple threat style match.
Yeah.
And they're going, wait, what? Yeah, it's going to be not a triple threat. We misspoke. It's going to be a six woman tag match.
Okay.
And they went, well, wait a minute, but we're the tag team holders. We're the women's tag team holders.
Yes.
What the hell? Why are we not being used? You're putting us on the back shelf when we have belts on around our waist. So they walked. And they made Michael Cole get up and say that the two women
walked out.
They were unprofessional. They blah. So that happened. Now, what does this have to do with my gripe now? My gripe now is that Cody Rhodes had the perfect scenario.
Yes.
I'm going to speak like, maybe I'll speak like Paul Heyman. He had the perfect scenario.
Yes.
He is supposed to be the undisputed WWE champion.
All right.
And we know he got screwed over. Now,
yes.
What did I say? In agreement with where you're going, I said this was stupid because you have nowhere to go now.
Are we on the same page for once?
We
when
were.
It came to this podcast.
Yes. I actually think I agree with you. And the only thing and by the way, the one thing I disagreed with you about, what did they do the next week? I told you that they need to give more time.
Yeah.
To Gunn.
Yeah.
And they put him in a triple tag match, and he won.
Okay.
So they gave Billy Gunn. I was laughing my ass off last Friday with Billy Gunn, and they put him in a match, and he won.
That was our big argument, Austin, last week. We had an argument about Billy Gunn, and
he won.
And
he didn't get the 3 count. Oh yeah.
You argued it into the universe.
I said, my man
allowed it to happen.
I said, Gunn, you know what I said? You said, Rob, you're being you said you're being a jerk, Rob. You know what I said? I'm an ass man.
Yeah,
I'm an ass man.
You're probably the only ass man, and that's the problem.
I'm an ass man, baby.
So this last Monday Night Raw.
But now Monday Night Raw comes.
Triple H, big announcement, comes out and he talks about.
He comes out and the camera's not on him. The camera's is on him, but not in the ring. So already I'm nervous. Now, I'm going to set this up.
Is the covered belt?
It's wait.
Is it already in the ring?
Let's rewind the clock. Just a few years.
I gotta ask you because
we're gonna rewind the clock. A few years ago, Stephanie McMahon is running the show.
Oh God.
And Stephanie McMahon goes, guys, you deserve the very best.
Yes.
And you go, what? WWE is so big, we need a belt to represent each of its brands.
Okay.
So now we're going to have the new WWE Universal Championship.
That is your impression of Stephanie?
Well, just whatever. I can't impersonate. I can impersonate any man. Anyways. And the crowd went,
all right.
Meh. Now, I hated it. Because
let's move a little bit to the.
We go to the future now.
Side real quick.
We go to
let's take a look at that beautiful championship right there.
Okay.
I actually like the look of the championship.
It's a WCW championship with the WWE logo in the middle.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I like it.
Fine.
I like the idea of where they're going.
Fine
with
the belt.
But what's our big gripe?
Well, here's the thing now. So because Roman Reigns now is your undisputed champion, running around with 2 belts on him.
Yeah, but he's taking a break.
He's taking a break. So what does Triple H say? Triple H goes, you know what?
Brother.
Yeah. No, hold on. You got to go.
Oh, no. No, God. Rob's not one to Yeah. Does he still spit the water when he comes out?
No, I don't know. Right. Oh, by the way, let's see if our buddies have anything to say.
Let's see if we have any comments or any. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. I want to go. I'm going to go to my phone.
Do we have any viewers?
Not yet.
Right.
I think what I might not.
Just bullshitting.
We're gonna. No, that's okay. Well, we'll get back to this.
No, but let's keep on the same thought process here.
So what they did was
they decided to make a secondary championship, and I call it the secondary championship because it's like a consolation prize. If you're not gonna take the title off Roman while he's on his break, his hiatus, his whatever you want to call it, vacation, what is the point? You know, you got to have a defending champion, right? You got to have an active working champion, right? So let's make this new secondary consolation prize title.
Now, here's the thing.
And
he knows
have somebody win it.
Triple H is a jackass.
My biggest gripe is why don't you let somebody beat Roman?
There was only one person. There was only one person that could have done it.
It should have been Cody.
Should have been Cody. You guys screwed up. Yes. You botched the opportunity. You squandered the big chance.
Because now if he wins it, it doesn't mean a goddamn.
Don't care. Don't give a shit.
It doesn't.
So now here's the thing.
So now you're like you put yourself in a corner.
And what happened? Roman goes naturally. I'm going on a break. Sure. So.
Which is fine.
So now, deserved, you know, when Roman comes back out of break, if Roman comes back out of break,
is he still fighting cancer?
I don't think so.
Is he cancer free?
Yeah, he's been for a minute.
All right. Well, I mean, the guy deserves a break either way.
No, I got no problem with it. I've got no problem with that. Here's my story, and I'm going to say it again for posterity. This is the story. It's real simple. He loses. You go up, well, you almost had it 1,000. He loses. You give it to Cody. Roman comes back at SummerSlam for vengeance.
Sure. I like
boom.
That story.
Boom. Nice. Simple. Now, what dumbass Triple H does is Triple H goes, well, shoot, I've got a problem.
Here's the thing.
I don't have a belt.
Are we 1,000% sure it was Triple H?
I'm going to say yes. And here's how I know why. Because
it smells like Vince.
Well, no, here's what I'm going to say.
It smells like
wait a minute.
Trouble.
There's a few people.
It smells like rape allegations.
Jesus Christ. There's a few people that this could be.
Sure.
Because who was the guy who played Big Brother Love?
Big Brother Love. Oh God. Yeah.
Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard's on their writing team. So you've got Bruce Pritchard.
Sure.
You're going to get him.
But are they listening to Bruce Pritchard?
I don't know. But you've got Nick Khan with the paycheck. You've got Bruce Pritchard, who's on their staff still. As far as I know, he hasn't been fired.
Sure.
You have you'd be an idiot not to consult with Paul Heyman at some degree.
Obviously.
Then you've also got, and he's more NXT. You've got William Regal. Now, I mention all these names because I was looking up.
But none of those guys are the decision.
Right. Now, Vince. With his, his fandango.
He's looking at you like he's just like, hey, Rob.
Fuck you, okay?
Listen,
hold up.
Can I just say
right in your eye, right in your fucking eye, Vince.
Can I just say this one thing though? I have to believe, like the wrestling fan in me, the person that loves wrestling, has to believe that Triple H is better.
No.
In this.
Here's why.
I have to believe this is Vince. It helps me sleep at night.
Here's why it's Triple H. Number one, Triple H.
I'm hoping to God
it's Triple H. Triple
H.
He did
so well with NXT, didn't he?
All right.
Wasn't he running NXT?
NXT looks like fucking Family Double Dare now. It's a fucking joke,
because
and it still
he hasn't been running it.
And now you got William Regal over there, and it still looks like fucking Family Double Dare.
I believe that if the golden
I want Braun. This is what I want for my championship on NXT. I want Braun Breaker to have to fight through a tunnel of slime, green slime, to get his belt, and then he has to have a green slime match. That's how shitty NXT is.
And then Dan Connors yells at him about being a shitty son. Listen, Triple H made NXT what NXT was.
When it was the black and gold.
When it was huge. When it was a contender for best wrestling show around. So I have to believe that this is Vince. Because Triple H can't mess up that
no,
much.
No. Yes, and here's why I'm annoyed, and this is why I know it's Triple H. This is why it's Triple H. Number one, Cody. What did Cody do? Cody, in essence, said. Cody,
are we going to talk about the sledgehammer to the chair?
We're gonna. Here's the thing.
Do you think Triple H I've got
the energy for this, and this is what you've been waiting for. We've been talking about this. This is what I'm going to say right now.
What we were talking about was me being right.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're right. Sure. You were right. WWE fucked up. Now, why and how did they fuck up? Who's responsible? They said they interviewed again. We'll go over this. They interviewed Triple H about Cody losing. They said the decision was made long in advance. Bullshit.
How long in advance?
Bullshit.
Right. How long in advance?
2.
Are we going to try?
When Triple H comes out, Triple H has been sent out there. Now, I believe that if it is Vince, okay.
Well, there was a moment that you were telling me about where Vince kind of waited for a reaction.
No. Let me get this idea across, and then you give me your response, okay?
All right.
Okay. So Triple H comes out, and he goes, "Hey, the draft is going to be great. It's going to be a shake-up. It's going to define careers. Blah blah blah."
I'm all for it.
Cool. I'm not. Whatever. Fine. I don't care for it, but fine. He comes.
2K26.
All right, hold on. Hey, dude. What are you hopped up on energy drinks?
A little bit.
Okay. He comes out with this thing and goes, you know what? Roman Reigns has done a great job. Roman Reigns is taking a much needed break, but we need a fighting champion. As soon as I hear that, my heart sinks because that tells me that you've screwed up. One of you screwed up, and now you're backpedaling. So now they go, we need a fighting champion, and we got it. We're going to go and do another World Heavyweight Championship belt. But we don't want it to look like that WCW belt, but we do. So here it is. Here's the WCW belt with the WW logo. Now he lifts off this crushed red velvet, and the audience goes nuts. Now when he does that, he goes like this.
You said the audience went nuts?
They loved it.
They loved it.
Now, but he was not sure of himself.
I love the look of it.
No, they're fine. The belt is a beautiful belt. Sure. Here's what I would do. I go, okay, that's your belt. Roman Reigns, you've beaten everybody. This is your belt. This is your belt now. You get this belt. You are the face of the company. What these fuckheads did, whether it was Triple H or Bruce Pritchard, because I'm assuming still with the company, or whether it was Vince, or whether, whomever. There was a blog out there that said a lot of the writers for the WWE staff have nothing to do with wrestling. They're literally comic writers and show writers of all different types that have no wrestling background, no business background. I believe it. Now, with that said,
Freddie Prinze Jr.
was a writer for WWE. And he's like a hacky comic.
Sure.
So here's the thing. I'm looking at this and I'm going, all right. So instead of just giving the belt to one guy, you're going to take Roman Reigns and you're going to send him to Raw because he's been on SmackDown. You're going to send him to Raw, and their whole bloodline gimmick is black and red. And you're going to say, oh, buddy, you did such a good job. We're going to make you half the champion. And you're going to have to go out there and sell now like a stinking mark and go, oh, I'm the best there ever was. But you're only half the champion because you no longer represent WWE. You represent Raw. You represent half of the company. Now, you're going to go back to this old, tired, mid-teens bullshit where you go, well, there's two promotions, Rob. There's Raw and there's SmackDown, let alone NXT. And this company's so big, it has no one to compete against. So really, who are they competing against? AEW's numbers barely crest 1 million. So really, when you get right down to it, there really is only two promotions. And we feel safe that we can say that WWE as a whole is a flagship brand. Now, as for Roman Reigns, Joseph Inoue did such a great job as the champion during the pandemic and taking us out of it that we feel confident that he can run the Raw branch on his own. And that will give somebody like a Cody Rhodes the opportunity to win the belt. And now I'm going to look at this and I'm going to go, Cody, here's your gold-plated second place prize. You popped a couple of water balloons. Welcome. You've got a belt. It wasn't the belt you came here for. And Roman, You're no longer the grand champion. You're no longer the undisputed champion. Your championship is disputed. They took your 2 belts, they crumpled them up, they threw them in the garbage. They will give you the same tired-looking black WWE belt, or they'll give you some bloodline, belt a la Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they will put your ass in the corner and go, good job. Good job, buddy. Oh, you're number 1 over here. You're not number 1 over there because you're not good enough for that. You couldn't give us the hours and you were hogging up too much time. And to be honest, it's kind of our fault because we wrote you into a corner. We could have had you come back with a vengeance, come back with your sisters, those 2 other people who happen to be Samoan and Australian or whatever they are in Nyla Jax. Not Nyla Jax. I said Nyla. Yeah, Nyla Jax.
Nia Jax?
Nia Jax.
No in there? I don't know.
Nyla Rose, yeah.
Nia
Jax.
I'm sorry.
Nia Jax and the other one.
Tamina.
You have 2 women who can beat the shit out of half the men in the roster, sure. And you're trying to put over...
This idea that they would be a part of the bloodline is kind of wild. Why would they
because they are bloodline. And if you're going to put Rhea Ripley as these strong women who could beat up men when you've had 2 women who've already done it, it's stupid. But forget about that. I could forgo having the women in the bloodline. What I cannot forgo is that Roman Reigns is a half champion. He had his championship belt taken from him on a cutting room floor of a writers' meeting. Okay, now you have to sell him at half efficiency. You have to sell me a Roman Reigns at half capacity. You have to sell me a Roman Reigns that can't hang on both brands and be a scary guy. When Brock Lesnar had the belt, Brock Lesnar showed up wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and when you heard his music, you shit your pants. Because you went, oh my God, there he is. And we complained that he showed up once every 3 months, but it still, when you heard that music, you were like, whoa,
listen,
we're fucked.
I don't think the idea of having a roster split and a draft and everything.
It's okay.
In any way.
It's okay.
Hold on. I allowed you, what'd you have, 4.5 minutes there? I don't know. I fell asleep. Listen.
Oh, boy.
I don't think WWE is intending to say anything like, hey, Roman, you can't do this or you can't do that. We're gonna put you.
You're half a wrestler now.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on Raw. I don't think that's what WWE is saying.
You're half a wrestler.
WWE is saying, hey, we have a lot of people on this roster. Hey, we have a lot of writers hired. Hey, we have all these different people involved in the show. Let's do a brand split. Let's have separate writers on this show. Let's have separate writers on this show.
Well, we've got some comments.
Hold on. Let's have some have a roster over here that's solid, and have a roster over here that's solid. Let's have some separate storylines and allow people to have more work and rosters. I like the idea of a split roster. I think Monday and Friday night should be in competition with each other because hey, why not? If they feel that AEW is in competition, might as well make your own competition within your company. I like that idea. I liked when it was Raw versus SmackDown and Paul Heyman was the head writer of SmackDown and Edge and Christian and Rey Mysterio and all those people were doing different
Hold on, we're doing one thing. We're having one technical glitch. Let me just borrow the mouse right quick.
Let's look at these comments here.
We've got some comments. A gentleman's time has expired. Yeah, look. What WWE's way to put it for children. It's truly for children.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I don't see any. You won't get any arguments there. I think it's definitely a PG product, but I don't think that they try to say it's anything other than that. They're very kind of forthcoming with that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Isn't WWE pretty open about being more for the children and for stuff like that?
Yeah, look, All I'll say is this, and I'll get.
And I just don't think that it's not a disrespect kind of thing to Roman. It's the guy needs a fucking break.
Yeah, we're gonna do it like this so everyone can see. All right, that works now.
He's been champ for how long?
No, but this is my point. This is my point.
Let the guy go on vacation.
Let the guy go on vacation. Drop the belt if it matters. Drop the belt. I don't believe in a company. That cannot give me a single solitary defined champion. What do they always say? What does Paul Heyman say? The reigning, defending, undisputed, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. You're not undisputed anymore. Let's just get right down. He
hasn't lost it,
but not anymore. Because now it's like, well, you're not the guy.
What makes him not undisputed?
Because
what is there to dispute?
Well, you're not the guy anymore. You're only half. You're only half. No matter to me, no matter what is said now. If you know what it'd be like, you know what it would be like. That belt mm-hmm. for any guy who's been there that long is his baby. Mm-hmm. That's personal property. Mm-hmm. That is your legacy. That's your face.
He's earned that. Yeah.
He's earned that. That would be like you and your wife. You love your wife, right?
Yes, I do.
You love your wife. Okay. And then tomorrow, your wife says, "Hey, Marcus, we're expecting."
Awesome.
Okay. We're expecting.
We're doing a lot of fucking. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Didn't need to know that, but okay.
We're trying.
I would try until the show takes off. We've got folding money, but
sure.
So you fuck her right now.
Yeah.
Now the baby comes out.
I don't know where this is.
Jet black, sure. And she goes, "Baby, that's your son. Uh-huh. You're the father. You're gonna raise him. Uh-huh. He's and you're gonna look at this baby and you're gonna go, oh it's my son. But now I was adopted, but sure. You're in the situation that this kid pops out, looks nothing like you, and you're gonna go, ooh." Okay. And in the back of your mind,
you implying that my wife was unfaithful?
We don't know.
Or is that what you're implying?
But no. We don't know. But that's the thing. Now I know your wife loves you. I know she's not. What I'm saying to you is, you look at this.
I think there could be a better analogy here.
I was trying to, but no, I'm looking at this and I'm going, wait a minute. Mm. That's your baby. It's you, but it's you cannot tell me now. You cannot have this guy come out with the same bravado and machismo and go, I'm and I'm gonna go.
I don't know what you're saying. Are you speaking words?
And then you're gonna have Paul Heyman go, the reigning undisputed champion of this corner of the building. Okay.
If the guy hasn't lost it, then he's the reigning defending undisputed
of
champion.
What? Of Raw. Not WWE.
I don't know why you're so stuck on the fact that
I'm stuck on that, but because here's the thing. If a guy is the best, then he controls everything. He's the best of everything. He's not the best of half the playground.
May I try to explain something to you one time? All right. Raw has a 3-hour show, and there's 37 minutes of commercials within that 3 hours. I don't know. I'm just saying. So now you have 2 hours and 23 minutes of television time. You have a roster of, let's just say, 60, 65, 70 people on that roster. There's only so much television time. Okay? That's why you split the rosters and you say, half of you guys go over to Raw, half of you guys go to SmackDown. Now you have 5 hours of television with 30 guys over here, 30 guys over here. You have more television time for people.
Okay, and?
It helps the product. It gets more exposure for everybody.
I don't want to watch. When they unified the tag team belts.
So hold on, real quick. So you want Roman, who's the champion, he's been a champion for 3 years. You want him to do Monday Night Raw.
And SmackDown.
You want him to do Tuesday night NXT tape.
No. You
want him to do a house show?
No. Pause.
No, he's the champion of the whole show.
So no. Pause. I will answer that question. I think it's.
He's got to do the Friday.
I think it's a reasonable.
SmackDown.
Hold on.
He's got to do the Saturday.
Pause. You cannot say that with a straight face.
I absolutely can.
No, you can't.
Said,
wait a minute. No, I don't. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. I will answer. I will answer that question as reasonably as can. Wait.
He's got to bust his ass every night. He's got to work 5 nights a week.
Okay, now, can I answer that? Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay, number one, NXT is the playground. NXT is the exhibition. It's exhibition. It's the exhibition team. We know that. It's labeled as such. It is labeled as almost like the real thing. We're talking about Raw and SmackDown. We're talking about you're making a Raw champion. Wait, we're talking about making a Raw champion and a SmackDown champion, a Raw tag team and a SmackDown tag team, a Raw women's champion and a SmackDown women's champion.
And real quick, can you look up while he's talking? Can you look up who the NXT champions are?
Braun Breaker.
But there's another one. Didn't Dolph Ziggler or something just win a championship over there?
Well, I know they have the North American champion.
Xavier Woods just won.
I just
saw it recently.
He fought for the Intercontinental belt and lost. You knew I was angry about this, and the reason why I'm angry about this is you have to be consistent. I've been watching WWE since about 1999. Fair?
Yeah.
I've been watching them, and in 1999 is when SmackDown came out. They didn't say, you know what? There's so much programming now, I just can't manage it all. I'm going to have to add another champion. No. What you do then, okay, you make that Intercontinental.
Dolph Ziggler's a champ right now?
No, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes is a champ. And
he just beat Braun Breaker. Okay. I've got no problem with that. I look at NXT as a separate entity. I look at in the same way as you have baseball and you have the minor league team.
The people are going to be up for the draft. They can be drafted to.
Fair, but by the way, in Major League Baseball, people leave and go to a farm system to retool, to work on,
to learn the basics again.
Learn the basics again.
Sure.
Work on your material. Get
better.
To get better.
Right.
I'm fine with NXT. NXT. I don't like the look of it, but it's fine. NXT is where it needs to be, how it needs to be.
All I'm saying is,
and William Regal is good. My problem is that SmackDown's been around for 23, 24 years.
Okay.
And two little time crunches over 3 years apiece, they decided we're going to just split up the belts. When you do that and you split up and you go into 2 different belts, you weaken them. This guy who had both belts, if you did it evenly, if you did it and said, we're going to clean the slate, we're going to clean the slate and everyone's starting off fresh, and Roman Reigns, you have to fight back in. We're doing this because we want to just start fresh.
Weren't they trying to do something? Didn't they say that they were kind of trying to do that with the draft?
But they haven't, because you didn't take the belt off Reigns. You didn't let him lose it. You didn't take the belt off him.
You gotta have him lose it.
But agreed. But the time was past. It should have been WrestleMania 39. Cody goes in, takes it all. It's a winner-take-all system.
But then you would have to strip Cody of the.
No, but I don't want that either. I want my champion to be my champion. I do not want it to.
You want your champion to work 5 nights a week and get injured, is what it sounds like.
What the hell? The Attitude Era, they didn't bat an eyelash. They went, I'm the champion. I'm the best. I'm the face of the freaking company.
Before they knew about fucking CTE.
By the way, are they doing that on Rampage, and are they doing that on the other show? No. And they have just as many shows. They have just as many house shows, and we know that those wrestlers work in many other promotions.
That's an issue that AEW has. I think they should have defined rosters.
And it's stupid, because think about it. MJF comes out on his schedule. There was an interview, and I think it was with MJF, where he was talking to Bully Ray, where he goes, you know what? I just realized something. And Bully goes, what's that? He goes, I become much more effective if I'm coming out when I'm ready to, speaking and cutting more promos than doing more in-ring time, because the guy who does more high-flying stuff is not necessarily as over as the guy who can cut a good promo. And Bully Ray said to him, you got it. Why is it taking so many people so long to figure this out? You know who knows how to do that? The Miz. The Miz comes out, he cuts promos. Even when he was Intercontinental Champion, he cut really effective promos. He was good. He knew his role. I don't want a half-ass champion. Sorry, not going to ever apologize for that.
What makes somebody a half-ass champion?
A half-ass champion is a guy who no longer represents the company. You represent a roster. The WWE is not two promotions.
All I'm saying is you want a guy to work so. Listen.
He doesn't, but you ignored what I said. Does MJF wrestle every time he comes out? No. Does he show up every night? No.
But it sounds like you expect Roman Reigns to do that.
No, wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I want you to represent the company. If you're going to show up on SmackDown,
you can represent the company.
Wrong. MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is the champion for AEW. Steve Macklin is the Impact Wrestling champion. There is one champion, one company, one promotion.
Neither of those companies are doing a brand split where they have two major shows, one on a Monday, one on a Friday.
Actually, that shows how weak the brand split is, because think about it. What did they do in the brand split? They constantly have
the brand split is a great idea.
Oh yeah, but they're not using it. They don't even use it now. They don't respect it. We
don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How often do we hear Michael Cole go, "Oh my God, look who's here from Raw"? The Judgment Day came over.
Now. The brand split hasn't happened yet. We haven't had the draft.
But
can we wait? Can you wait until the draft is over?
So what do they have now? Why is Michael Cole?
And then tell me how it's going.
Wait. I can already tell you. How is Michael Cole so surprised that the Judgment Day show up on?
Because he's paid to act surprised. What are we talking about here?
But that means there's a brand split. Because they have already established that the Judgment Day often say this. Every time the Usos show up on Raw, what did the Judgment Day say? The brand split is now. It's already been. You could say that, but it's not correct. Because the Judgment Day always say, "You're in our house. Monday Night Raw is our show."
That doesn't mean there's a brand split. That means they think Monday night's their show.
No, Marcus.
Do you know what a brand split is?
A brand
split is, hey, you work on Raw.
Correct.
You only work on Raw. You will only be on Raw.
Correct.
Defend titles on Raw. You work Raw.
Correct.
You do not work over here.
Correct.
If both gangs, groups, whatever we want to call them, are working both shows, then there's no brand split. Just because one says Monday's our show,
Marcus. This is the problem.
Doesn't mean there's a brand split.
You would be.
The brand split hasn't happened yet.
Incorrect. The brand split already took place a long time.
Put up the dates of the roster. When is the draft happening? There's one for Monday Night Raw and there's one for Friday Night SmackDown.
I will say this. You are mostly correct.
That is when things are supposed to happen. It's like a reboot. They're doing a reboot.
You're
Vince McMahon's on his way out. Triple H is coming in. He's going to be head writer, head creative. His idea is, hey, we're going to have a draft. We're going to have a Monday Night Raw roster. We're going to have a Friday Night SmackDown roster.
They already have that.
It's supposed to happen on April 28th
All right.
May 1st.
Now I will.
Are those dates happened yet? It's the 26th today.
I will. Let me fill in the gaps here because you don't watch the program.
I don't.
Okay.
And this is why
they already have two different brands and they have two different rosters for each brand. The reason why I said Judgment Day said, "Oh, this is our show." They were all part of the Raw brand. Dominic Mysterio, last time they had the draft, which was around last year, was drafted to Raw. They've done this every year for the last few years.
Sure.
The problem was they realized it was stupid, and then they kept interrupting each other. So, like, I'll give you an example. The bald guy, Corbin. Corbin was on SmackDown. He was drafted to Raw. Then they said, "Look who showed up on SmackDown, Corbin." The Usos went to Raw last week. They said, "Look who showed up from SmackDown." There already is there's a new brand. There's going to be a new one. Now, that's not to say that there isn't one now. There is two separate brands with two separate rosters. It's why the tag team guys, the tag team champions, are holding two different belts. And it's why the champion, Roman Reigns, was holding two different belts, because he was the champion of both individual brands, which is why I've been saying to you for the longest now, they needed to unify the belts and not do this stupid stuff, because this is pure stupidity. You can have two brands, and then you can say, "Okay, I'm the Intercontinental Champion." What do they always say? "Oh, he's the Intercontinental Champion. We're going to bring the belt home to Raw. We're going to bring these belts." When it came to the tag champions and when it came to the World Heavyweight undisputed WWE championship. There can only be one with any legitimacy. You being a Raw Universal Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's weak sauce.
I have an idea for you,
It's
Rob.
fucking weak sauce.
Maybe, and this is just a big maybe. Maybe WWE isn't for you. Maybe the product isn't made for somebody who's going to nitpick everything.
It's not a nitpick. It's like the elephant in the room. You're not the guy. You're no longer the guy, Roman.
Right.
They wrote you off into the corner.
That's how you feel. I'm sure Roman doesn't feel that way.
Well, he's getting paid either way, but they probably remember. What's he going to do?
Can you imagine how much they would have to pay Roman to be like, hey, you're going to be the guy who does Raw, SmackDown, we're going to do PLEs.
You're not listening. You're not listening. He can do whatever they want with him. If they want him to show up next week on SmackDown and take the week off on Raw, or take 2 weeks off, they could put him wherever he wants. He's the guy. They've already written that story. That's why what you're saying doesn't hold up, because they've already been writing him like this. They've already been writing that he shows up when he wants, where he wants.
This is the last thing I'm going to say, because I wanted to actually talk about other things other than this.
But yeah, this is
particular
Reigns'
situation.
Weak sauce now.
This is the last thing I'm going to say real quick about this.
What?
This is a reboot. The idea that Triple H has pitched to people on Twitter, on Monday Night Raw, the whole concept is this is a reboot. We're starting over. We're trying.
You're locked into the idea that this is new. This isn't new. This isn't a new concept. They've done this every year for the last 5 years.
Vince McMahon has done this for years. This is the difference. This is the thing that's different that you're not understanding.
It's not different, because think about it. There
is a new head writer. His name is Triple H. He hasn't had the options, the opportunity to have the big seat. He finally has the big seat, and he wants to establish brand newness, because he's talking about characters having brand new storylines.
I'm not arguing that point, Marcus. You could do all of that.
Can I please finish my thought, because I'm done talking about this after this.
Okay.
This is a brand new restart. This is the next season. This is what we're doing here. New rules have been established. New storylines are getting figured out. We're separating titles. We're separating shit.
Okay.
If Roman is still the end of wherever he gets drafted to SmackDown, he gets drafted to Raw. He takes his 2 titles that should be unified. They shouldn't be separate. He should come out with 1 title, in my opinion. But if he takes it to Raw, he takes it to SmackDown, he shows up. He is the big dog of that show. That's the end-all, be-all. He's the champion. He hasn't been beat. He hasn't lost the title due to injury. He hasn't, hey, I got to take a break because I have cancer again. Whatever reason, he's still the big dog on that show.
You've got a motorcycle. I just took off one of your wheels. You're going nowhere. You had the whole company. You could come and go as you please on both brands. You were the most dominant guy. He's the most dominant guy. What do you not wrap your head around? I can go wherever
This show is written for 7-year-olds. Can we talk about real professional wrestling for a little bit? Thank you. Have you guys heard? This is breaking news. Roderick Strong is All Elite.
All right.
How do you feel about Roderick Strong going to All Elite Wrestling and helping out his good friend Adam Cole?
Wait, is it All Elite Wrestling, or is he going to be going to Dynamite or Rampage?
Well, he got drafted to suckmydick.com, but they're going to let him use it on Go Fuck Yourself TV show. And what are we talking about?
Red agrees. It was a nerf.
Sure, it was a nerf. That's fine. The guy's been champion for 3 years. He's been busting his ass Monday, SmackDown.
Put Cody on.
Putting all these different shows. He's running all the pay-per-views. He's doing. That guy needs a break. I have no problem with them going, hey, you know what? Let's make it a little easier. You only work on Monday.
Here's the way I like it. Maybe, and this is me being spoiled by AEW. This is where AEW spoiled me. This is where AEW spoiled me. AEW did it the right way.
They did.
Because
keep going.
Who is the Ring of Honor champion?
Which one? Cesaro.
Cesaro's a ring. Well,
See? You use real people's names. I'm using Claudio
Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli.
Catastrophe.
No, Claudio Castagnoli.
I can't believe you use people's shoot names on the show. That's wild to me.
Well, I only did that with Mercedes Monet.
And you called the big Samoan by his real name.
Well, because I was saying it in the. All right, I was.
Anyway, Castagnoli's champion. What about it?
It's good. He's a champion. Jericho could be a champion. It's something different. It's an actual separate brand.
That the ROH champion shows up on Dynamite and beats
happy because it's.
Why is it okay? And I'm a big AEW guy, and I'm gonna defend AEW all day. Why is it okay when AEW does it?
WWE years ago bought ECW. Sure. And the ECW belt went to Big Show. It went to Bobby Lashley.
Vince McMahon held it for a while.
Yeah. And they made it a kind of a joke. These guys bought Ring of Honor. They gave Ring of Honor their own show. They intermixed. They opened up forbidden doors. They even had Kenny Omega get the Impact belt and the Ring of Honor belt. It was great. It was exciting. I understand that it's a different show. It got bought up. It got swallowed up by AEW. But I also know that there's a distinction between the show. And also the show doesn't bar people from wrestling across promotions. It makes it more exciting to me.
So you and I also everything good about AEW. So why do you still watch WWE?
I watch WWE because
if you're looking at it the whole time and you're going, I hate everything about
this. No. What they're doing is no. What they're doing is they're making rookie mistakes. They're actually
that a company that's 50 years old shouldn't be doing.
They're making silly mistakes that are easily resolved.
And you know why they're making those mistakes? Because a 78-year-old crackhead that molest people is
they were old enough. They were old enough. They weren't molested. They were raped.
Okay, well, allegations.
Yeah,
allegedly.
You know. Okay. You know what that mustache is for? That's to lock in the scent.
That's. So anyway,
AEW. Let's go
talk about Wembley. How do you think Wembley's going to go?
I don't know. Here's the only thing with AEW, and I just went. We went to a recent AEW show. I think it was Double. I don't know if I went to Double or Nothing. It was the one with the Jericho Appreciation Society versus where they had that big stadium stampede style thing, but in Vegas. They got to fill the seats. If they fill the seats, it's a game changer.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, Marcus.
Was there a lot going on that weekend?
When I went and saw it live?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was mostly full. My fear is because Wembley's so goddamn big.
Yeah.
And it's England. It's not U.S. You have to now. I don't know how strong their global reach is yet.
Sure.
I want them to succeed. By the way, I want everything to succeed. I want to enjoy what I'm watching, and I want to be able to continue watching it. That's my only gripe about Impact Wrestling. I like Impact Wrestling, but it used to be bigger.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Remember when we went to Impact in that little casino room and it wasn't full?
That's my point.
Yeah.
Impact used to have a seating of about 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10,000. It used to be at the Orleans Arena on Decatur.
Yeah.
Decatur, or the Court of Decatur and Tropicana.
Is Wembley make or break for AEW?
Absolutely.
Really?
They can't come back from that if it doesn't do well. They're going to be in TNA land.
So what do they have to do to make sure Wembley's a success?
I don't know. This is where I'm going to admit my ignorance.
Thank you.
What?
I think they're selling 3/4 of those seats. There's no way. First off, they haven't been to England yet. Let's just say that. First time in England. Second,
Impact gives away.
Yeah. Second, it's their first. They haven't done Japanese shows yet, have they?
I don't know, but by the way, Marcus, love the hair.
Thanks.
It's looking good.
Thanks, buddy.
From that angle, it's you've got like a full
weird
Pantene thing going.
Me off there with that. Okay, first they haven't been over to England. Second,
those babies will be coming soon.
Hopefully, my wife's watching now. Babe, I'll see you in a minute. You're killing my train of thought here. What do they have to do to make Wembley a success? Because like Red says, there's no way they're not selling 3/4 of the seats. How do they sell that last fourth of seats? The last.
You've got to.
How many people?
Here's how you do it.
Wembley. How many people can fit in Wembley? Would you say? What's the number?
Oh, we gotta look that up.
Is it 60,000? Let's say 60,000.
Yeah, Wembley's gigantic. It's
so 45,000 is 3/4. Okay, we sell 45,000 tickets. 90,000.
80? No, wait. 100? No, wait a minute.
Literally
capacity 90,000. Okay. Jesus Christ, that's huge.
So 90,000 people,
which will be groundbreaking. Now, here's how they do. Here's one way.
60,000, I think, is 3/4.
Yeah. No, well, that would be
75.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you one answer, and you tell me. And
sure.
I want your perspective.
Okay. As the fan of the product?
No, as a person who's had to do this at a very, very, very basic local level.
Sure.
I'd like your perspective on this.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is for Wembley.
Neither of us are good at math.
What I'm thinking of is for Wembley, the only way that you can assure, just like they did with All In, is you're going to have to draw people from other promotions. Sure. You can't just rely on the storylines you've got going on in the United States leading up.
Okay.
You're going to have to pull people from other promotions, and you're going to have to not just tease it or surprise people. You have to have a surprise guy. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you go with, I don't know. I don't know who they could pull in at this point. I really don't know. Maybe they get somebody from GCW, or I don't know what the England promotions are, but you got to get local English people. Whether or not you get and he's a shitty example, a truly shitty example. Let's say you got somebody like, and a truly shitty example, a Grado, somebody that's big on the scene there.
Sure.
I don't know of a name. He's the first name that came to mind.
Okay.
You got to get somebody who the locals love. In the same way that we're looking at local promotions, we're talking about Prestige Wrestling.
Sure.
There's a wrestler whose brother is a comedian. Her name is Sandra Moon.
Okay.
And her brother's a comedian in the Vegas scene.
Shout out
Marco. Sandra, you see in a lot of mid-card promotions, and you'll see her as horrible way to say her. It's not what she is, but you'll see her on Impact Wrestling and AEW Dark as a jobber. Okay. She's there as enhancement talent.
Sure.
Put somebody else over, take the fall. Cool.
Okay.
But in lots of other promotions, Jesus, oh man, it's Sandra Moon. You need somebody with that nation, that English, that British national.
I don't think one English person
or a couple, somebody.
I don't think that's really like or a needle mover. I don't think that's going to.
It's a help.
Thing
I thought it would be like a help to get that last quarter people, to get that last 30,000 people.
I don't see great. Let's use Grado as an example because
or Funny Bones here. Is Funny Bones going to draw 10,000 people?
No, I don't think that like I don't think there's anybody on a I hate to say it. Like I feel bad saying that, but I don't
she
think
should be signed.
Simon
Miller will sell it out.
I don't think there's like one kind of like indie level name that would make that needle move. Like there's no way one name brings in 30,000 tickets. Like I'm sorry.
And that's fair. And that's why I want your perspective.
I don't think CM Punk could bring in
who was going to WWE, by the way.
Bring in 30,000 tickets. Like 30,000 tickets is a lot of tickets.
But Simon Miller could do it. He's a wrestler too.
That's like a lot of tickets.
Hello, my name is Simon Miller, and I feel all warm in my tum-tum.
Do you know how much 30,000 tickets is?
30,000?
That's a lot of tickets.
No, but that was my question. What I was proposing to you. This is where
I think they have a lot of good things going for them. It's their first time over there. It is AEW, which, there's a lot of fans out there worldwide. Do I think they sell out at the 90? I think I would be happy personally if 75,000 people.
No, but to give you an idea, are you aware of Queen's performance at Wembley?
Yes.
So you can get an idea of what 90,000 people, more or less, look. Now, meanwhile, they were filling up the seats, the ground. But to give you an idea of what 90,000 people could look like, that's a sea of people. I want them to succeed.
Yeah, I don't
And yes, Sal, 30,000 is more than 29,999.
That's a lot of tickets. Let me put in perspective for you. Like you just said, Impact couldn't sell out a 5,000.
But wait a minute.
A 5,000 seated arena.
I apologize to interrupt you. When Impact Wrestling did go to England, they were not at Wembley, but they were at another stadium. They filled up a 10,000 plus seating hall in England.
That's what I'm saying.
It's possible.
Maybe England doesn't have a lot going on. Maybe,
so they would.
They've had their fill of tea and crumpets, and maybe it's time for something new. Shut up, Siri. I wasn't talking to you, you dumb broad.
Well, it turns out it was your wife.
Yeah.
No kids tonight.
Listen, I just don't think that. I don't know. I'm saying 75,000 tickets.
Right.
And I would be happy with that. I don't think that makes or breaks them as much as you would think.
I'll give you this idea. Years ago, Steve Martin had a show. Steve Martin, the comedian. I'm kidding. He had a show at the Garden. And they said he looked up into the crowd.
Did he play the banjo?
Yes.
He's the one that plays
the
banjo.
Yeah. Okay. He's done than that. He looked up into the crowd. He saw somebody in the nosebleeds. There was a seat empty. And he went, "Well, I guess."
I don't think you saw that.
And it was
if you've been on stage, the lights are in your face.
I know. Like it's an old urban legend that he saw that the seats weren't sold out. He knew it was time to retire.
Because one seat was missing, and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm done."
That's an urban legend, but
wow.
The point is, you don't want that scenario, because I've been to tapings of Impact when they were at bigger venues, and you go. So the way Impact works, and WW and all of them, they'll have a section of the middle of the ring, of the middle of the seating, where the camera's facing right at the ring. It's just a stationary camera. They take away seating all around.
It's called the hard cam.
There you go. I didn't know the name. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
This is where.
It's strange how thankful you are over the word hard cam. Can you continue with your thought, please? It's a hard cam.
All right.
You're welcome.
They didn't have seating there. Okay. But there was also chunks of Orleans that were not full.
Sure.
You don't see. I mean, if Impact could get to Thomas Mack Arena, where the Rebels play, they would take it. That's 20,000 seats. It's 19,000. They would take it, but they're not going to get up that high. So for 90,000 people, if they do that and they get 75, and you've got. It is.
That's a win.
But if that camera pans around and you see a chunk of dead seats, you're gonna go.
No. The only people that fucking worry about that are just like weird nerds that are like, "Oh my god, did you see how fucking Impact didn't fucking sell 5,000 extra tickets?" Like that to me is such a weird thing. As a wrestling fan, we have a lot of things to worry about as wrestling fans. Okay, we have people texting underage people. We have we have people like, just being pieces of shit. We have like transphobes. We have all these different
First of all,
of like social issues.
Some of those trans wrestlers are fucking hot.
And to think that like you're sitting at home as a fan of something, you like support this product called AEW or whatever, and you go and you go, you know what? This show's all right. It's a good show. I'm having a good. Oh, wait a minute. Do you see that? There's 10,000 seats missing. Oh God, this show.
But it
sucks.
does. This
show sucks.
But you know why I said that?
I can't expect people to spend their money. First off, I can't just go and be like, oh, you know what? It's a $50 ticket. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna fly out. I'm gonna get a room. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do just to go to a show. I'm not gonna expect people to spend money on something like that. So I've never like looked at a wrestling show and decided if I like it or don't like it or want to support it based on how many seats are filled.
Well,
if it's a good show, you can have an empty arena, and I'm gonna.
There have been.
I'm gonna have a great time.
I watch a lot of programs like our own. Okay. Mm-hmm. What Culture Wrestling?
Why?
Because I like different perspectives, and we've only been at this for about a month, you and I.
Sure.
But I've gone into this listening to Busted Open with Bully Ray, because he's the best. He's the most honest guy who's commentating. Dave LaGreca. I've been listening to What Culture Wrestling with Simon Miller, and then they have another compendium show. I don't know the other guy's two names, those two gingers. I watch a lot of these. There's WrestleMania. I think we're the best.
Okay. That's
but
nice.
What a lot of them say, they'll comment on the fact that, hey, this arena was a little empty.
Sure.
They'll make that comment because it's a reflection of how strong your product is. It is. Now, does that bother me if the camera pans around and I see empty seating? Not so much, but it does sit in the back of my brain. It's like a hair in my soup.
I've just never, like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know.
I think because you know why I think that? I think you give more leverage because you understand the difficulty of setting up a show.
Sure.
And I think you give more leverage.
I'm worried about what's going on in the ring.
Lagonia. I've got to go to Robin. This one, empty seats are noticeable. It's why so many of these shows just get random people to fill seats.
Well, do you guys remember when we had empty arenas because of COVID?
But we're not counting that because that was you can't count that because there was no way around that. But by the way, when there, you know what? But
they're still putting on good
shows. You know what? Actually, to the point of that, I'll answer that point. What did they do? AEW saw WWE's product because WWE did that first. Triple H came out on SmackDown.
On a bunch of screens
and it was we had nobody. The first show, it was empty. They only had the wrestlers and they had the commentator crew. And Triple H said, "We're going to try something different for you guys. Mm-hmm. We're going to make it very intimate. We're at the WWE Training Center, and you're going to see a very different type of show. We don't want to go off the air." And we all looked at this. We went, okay. What did AEW do? AEW clapped back and said, okay, we can't have a bunch of people from outside here, but we have to have our wrestlers tested for COVID, and we have to have social distancing. So what did AEW do? They filled the stadiums with their own people, and their own people gave the commentary. It was genius.
And it works.
It worked well. And then what did WWE do? They followed in tow, and they put up the glass partitions, and they put their own extras and their own lower wrestlers from NXT to give to be a crowd. So the idea of
that's the thing. Listen. I want
matters.
More empty arena matches. Give me more empty arena matches. Give me more Mankind versus
Global Force Wrestling.
Was it Mankind versus The Rock where they had that empty arena match?
No, that was the I Quit match, wasn't it? That was the one with
Super Bowl match.
What?
Super Bowl match.
Oh,
anyway, all I'm saying is I'm focused on what's going on in the ring. Tell me a good story in the ring, I'm gonna watch. I don't care who's there. I'm not there for the guy with the green shirt.
I'm the mark. I'm a mark. I'm a mark. So WWE goes every time. We're at Wembley Arena, sold out 90,000, and they make it a point to pan and show you the crowd. The whole point is, in anything I'm watching, we're all creatures. We're creatures of habit.
I get where you're going.
If I see everyone's cheering for this guy,
we got the coolest thing going on. Look at all these people enjoying our product.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. We can only pan to the first tier because nobody.
I just think. In this case, quality over quantity.
No.
I can get a bunch of people to sign up on seat fillers and show up to my wrestling show and, have a bunch of people there. Like, somebody was telling me the other day that you could literally, like, go to a free wrestling show. You go on seat fillers. You know what I mean? And you can just have people to fill seats.
Now, what we're talking about.
Or you can have a good product that people want to watch and they don't care about who's there.
But you have to understand, people you care for the right reasons. I'm going to give you a backhanded compliment.
Oh, that's rude.
You care for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You give a shit about the quality.
Why are you being nice to me? You're not supposed to be nice.
What am I, bad news bearer? Let me tell you something, Marcus. Yeah, jacket.
Can you make it a compliment sandwich?
Yes. Dom is perfect. Yeah. Look. You always have to have that appearance that you've completely sold out to the rafters. People want to know that.
Care.
I know you don't.
It's not that
in fact, I think we had this talk a few weeks. But that's the thing. When they're at Allegiant's 45,000 some odd seats.
Sure.
If you have this brand new blah 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 park and you haven't completely sold out, people are gonna go. Ooh.
Listen.
And if the camera by the way, we know what Wembley looks like. We know what all these places look like. So if that camera only stops halfway through mid-load and you're going, wait, why isn't that camera going all the way up to the rafters?
Well, here's the thing. If I'm at Allegiant Stadium with what you said had 40,000 cap.
About 45.
Say 20,000 people are in Allegiant having a great fucking time.
I wouldn't care.
You can hear it. You can hear the audience reacting to what's going on in the ring, and there's pops and there's boos and there's excitement.
They wouldn't even
it would still feel like there's 40,000 people in the room.
I would automatically be turned off to see only half an arena. I would be turned off.
I know.
It's like having I would be turned off. I would be turned off.
I think quality over quantity.
But
people still watch baseball.
Yeah,
people.
And you know how many people are in the fucking baseball?
But yeah, but you know,
Come
but
on, that's a good example.
5.
Our fucking producer
right. But
here
he's
just
right.
gave us
But
a
I'm
great
going to answer
example.
that.
Baseball.
When the Yankees play a game at Yankee Stadium, even though I don't like the new Yankee Stadium, but I respect it. They're full every time. If you go to a Florida Marlins game, you can literally hear it on the announcer's voice how miserable they are to be there. Yeah. Because
they'll go to a Minnesota Twins game and there's 7 people in the fucking
and they'll go, all right, and
yeah.
Because
but those 7 people could be having the best fucking time of their lives.
I don't care. But now you want me to pay for pay-per-view? You want me to pay? You got to get me excited about being there. You can't show me 7 people and get me excited.
I'm not going to get excited just because somebody else is excited.
But that's how these things work.
Are you a fetishist? Do you just get excited on
that's
somebody
how
else having fun? You see somebody else masturbating and you're like, oh, you know what? I got to masturbate.
Yeah, it's called porn.
That's such a weird thing to me, man.
No, it's not, but that's normal.
No, I'm going to get off because I see titties. I see the action.
People get off because other people are getting off. Think about it like this. Think about it like this.
In the ring happening.
It is.
I'm getting off.
2023.
I'm not getting off because I see the guy next to me.
It is 2023.
He's built up his tolerance.
Yeah.
It is 2023. And if I go, let me tell you something. What? I've got anger. What? Stone Cold hasn't wrestled in 20 years. There are people cheering what who don't know who the hell he is. Why are they doing that? Because it's an audience thing. It is a crowd thing. People are creatures of habits. We have a school mindset where we're bred to do that. We're bred to do that. An arena needs to be full. It has to be full. Now, you're right. The quality is more important than that. And the only way you're going to get that to that point, to answer your question, the original question, is to have a show that has such great quality that it will generate the desire for people to fill those seats.
You know what kind of show has a lot of people in filled arenas? Soccer.
Yeah.
And you know how many people watch soccer? Not one of us 3 in this room do we? Do you watch soccer?
Not in America.
But
by the way,
do I watch soccer?
But by the way, when WWE was going to
look at a soccer game, you flip channels and you see soccer
because it's
stadiums are fucking packed.
I'll give you the example.
It's a good show. That doesn't mean that it's a great time.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't mean.
Yes,
how much are tickets anyway?
I know.
$5. Soccer tickets soccer games are insanely expensive. It's probably the most popular sport in the world.
And I'm okay with that. That's
now,
fine.
what I will say this:
that doesn't mean
when WWE,
I
don't remember what show was it WWE was trying to do at Allegiant that they ended up having to go to MGM because they couldn't fill Allegiant. They won't even let you do half a stadium. It doesn't even worth.
Well,
it doesn't.
It's probably in the contract because if you can't sell X amount of tickets, we can't
right.
host you.
What I'm talking about is on the Wembley. Yeah, no, I can't agree on that, Red, because if the place isn't filled up, it's a mark. It's a check. It's like you know what? It's like getting your favorite porn star and you found out she lost a breast in an accident. She takes off your clothes and your scars. You're like,
you're still not hitting it, buddy. She got a messed up titty from cancer or something, and she's already there.
How many people are talking
She's
about
naked?
How many people are talking about porking Christina Applegate these days?
Sure, I would. I mean, my wife's here. Hi, honey. I don't know
gotcha.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I guarantee Christina Applegate is still quality over quantity.
Just look at her eyes.
What do
just
you
look
see?
at her eyes.
You know?
I don't.
All right. Well,
but I don't. I get what you're saying. The quality, I think, is going to drive the people to the seats. If we're off by 10,000, if we're off by 10 or 15,000, I guess.
I ask him every day. I ask Rob what his obsession with naked people is.
You don't want to see my bookmarks.
I know. We accidentally did earlier. It was atrocious.
The
horse. I didn't expect the horse to be there. It was very. Listen.
Look, when you get desensitized by too many black guys, you gotta step up a notch.
I get it. Listen. There was no horses. First off, how long have we been live?
We're closing in on the 2-hour mark. We got a quarter to 9. We started at 7.
Christmas.
I know you got to get home to the wife.
My wife is an amazing human being. She got off at 8 o'clock.
By the way, I want to say this.
And she's sitting at her work for 46 minutes.
I've always asked you. I always ask you this. How are the things with the wife? You are a great person. I ask him every time, how are things going with your wife? How are things going? I want you guys to be married forever. I want you guys to have a great relationship.
I think there's
you're a great person.
I think there's a thing going on in the comedy scene where Sam Lundstedt and Justin Joe Brown, I think they started when I first got married, they started like one of those
a pool
or something, or
boy.
when we were going to get divorced or whatever, or how long it's going to last. I think we beat everybody's expectations with that, which is nice. Honey, it's almost over. Honey, it's all we can.
Well, it's almost over.
We can get the divorce. We gotta go a little bit longer. We just gotta beat the spread. I need the $7 the comics.
So wait. Are you gonna divorce her just so you can remarry her and collect the money?
Listen, I would do that.
That'd be smart.
My wife is an amazing.
Okay, honey, divorce him right now. We gotta now.
Quick, and then
we gotta notarize this. Collect the money,
fast.
And then boom.
Listen,
you don't even have to leave the apartment.
I love doing this podcast, Rob. I have to tell you that.
But you got to be with the wifey.
I have to go pick up the wife. But
that's fine.
I have something that I'd like to say before this whole.
And just because I disagree with you on some things doesn't mean I look to your perspective, because it would be boring if we just agreed across the board.
Sure. If we agreed, there would be no point to do this podcast.
Triple H is an amazing guy. I wish he would split off and make 5 more championship belts. A championship belt for every color of the rainbow, because WWE is all inclusive.
You know, I am not a hater of the 24/7 title. I think the 24/7 title. If there was a way to switch those, so I'm not the one representing the. I love the 24/7 title. I think it's a great idea. I wish they added some prestige to that.
You mean the hardcore belts?
Honestly, R-Truth was enough. If he just had it for the rest of his life,
I would be so. I'm okay with R-Truth losing.
By the way, that motherfucker never ages.
Because
he's like 70 now.
His gimmicks where he comes out, he's like,
hey, where's Jimmy?
Listen, he goes, I'm gonna go to the Royal Rumble and I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble and I'm gonna beat you, Paul Heyman, and that was the funniest fucking thing.
Meanwhile, like behind the scenes, he's like actually like super duper smart.
No, of course.
He's not a dummy. Like
he's not a dumb
when
person.
when once in a while they'll screw up and they'll do like a kind of promo. He's in the background, and you can see he's just having a normal conversation.
Yeah.
And
he's a human being.
The funniest skit they ever had was he had that show with Carmella.
Sure.
And he had Daniel Bryan in the ring, and he goes, "Hey, Daniel Bryan, now that you have the WWE Championship, I guess you kind of have a whole cathartic feeling going on now, right?" Mm-hmm. And Daniel Bryan looks at him and goes, "Who taught you the word cathartic?"
That's hilarious.
And he goes, "Do you even know what that means?" "Well, that's like a great release of emotion."
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's right.
That's right." It's like when people expect oh God, what's his name? The bear, gray hairs, large guy. Adam Cole's going to be his manager.
No, wait, are you talking about Keith Lee?
When they expect, it's weird to me that like people expect Keith Lee not to be intelligent. You know what I mean?
The way he talks, he always talks intelligently.
Right. So to me, it's just like, how do you not see our
his delivery is incredible. There's nobody who speaks like him.
I don't think you do 30 years in that business without like going bankrupt and figuring, like without being intelligent enough to figure things out. So I got to go pick up my wife. I just wanted to say real quick, Rob, thanks for having us. It was a good time. I'm glad your dad is okay and doing okay.
My idol. Mustachioed Vince McMahon.
That's your idol? There's so many terrible people that you could idolize, and you decide.
I know. Look at that.
Well, this was fun. Thank you. Big shout outs to Austin
the My Pillow guy.
Being here and helping us figure things out.
Yeah, and we're gonna get this dialed. I'm gonna get a fucking wireless mouse because
there's too many wires here. I don't know if you guys can see this. We're in here. There's just so many wires and things going on, and it's just
that's the tip of the iceberg.
I feel like a fire can combust at any moment, and this could just all.
That's about 1/4 of the wires.
I feel like there's so much going on.
It all works.
I have to go. I have to pick up my wife. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
And I want to get a theme. I want to find out if we could do it, because I think you could take any song for 6 seconds and make it a theme. And I have a song in mind that I'd like to be our theme. I just got to find out if I can do it. And once I do, I'll be happy.
That's a weird way to end this.
No, mustachioed Vince McMahon says, "I love you." Look he's looking at me with joy in his mustachioed heart.
There's adoration there. Wife, I'm on my way. I love you. I'll be there in a little bit. Thanks. Can we
give him a little procreation music to go set him off?
All right, end the broadcast. End the broadcast.
Have a good night, guys. We love you. We will see you next week.
And give us a share and a follow and all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next week. I love you and all that.
Good night.
Dumb shit.
Make some beautiful babies.